Well, I don't know exactly how this is going to work. This is the first time I've gone live on YouTube on this channel. And so I was sitting here in my church office and getting ready for church today. And man, it was a beautiful, absolutely beautiful morning here in DFW. This morning was so nice. It had me wanting to, you know, have church out on the lawn or on the parking lot or something. I mean, the air was just it felt wonderful. Um, but I got here to the church, and my general routine is to come into my office and start, uh, just kind of really uh, focusing on what I'm doing today on the message. And as I was doing that, um, I just thought, man, I would love to share this moment. And instead of, trying to record it and making this part of one of the playlists, I thought I've never been live on the channel. Let me just go live. So it is Sunday morning, about 9 o'clock in DFW, Texas. And like I said, it's a beautiful day outside, but I'm going to be preaching. I'm actually kicking off a new series called Pressure, Pain, Promise. Pressure, Pain, and Promise. And today's the first Sunday of that series. And if you want to catch the series, I don't post or host all of that content here on my own personal page. I'll usually post some clips, but you can check that out over at my church's page. It's Faith Point on our YouTube channel. But man, I'm telling you, there's something significant about this series that really man, it's got me with where I'm at in life right now. Since the beginning of the year, on every front, just everywhere I turn, everywhere I look, it doesn't matter, personally, family, financial, here at my church. I mean, everywhere, business, everywhere I turn, I have been under a tremendous amount of pressure. I mean, just just pressure, man. I mean, just so much weighing heavy on me. And I'm generally by nature, I'm just not an overwhelmed person. I don't struggle with anxiety or depression or any mental, things or mental illness. Or I don't struggle with any of those things. And if you do, I'm praying you find freedom, however that looks, man, for you. But personally, that's just not part of my personality. It's something I've never really struggled with. And recently, I broke out in some hives. I broke out in a rash. And at first, I'm wondering, I'm really allergic to poison ivy. And I'm hoping, oh my God, hopefully this is not poison ivy. The last thing I want is some poison ivy. But a few days go by, and this rash keeps flaring up, just kind of daily almost. It seemed to hit me at night when I got into the bed, when I was most comfortable. Um, and I'm telling you, just flare up, itching, redness, irritated skin. And I realized after about, a week or two that this is not poison ivy, obviously. And my body is responding to the pressure that I've been under and that I've felt for now. What is this? This is the first Sunday in May. So we're 4 months in, and just the pressure that I've experienced in life up to this point, it's manifesting in my body in the form of this Hyvee rash. And I've just been taking it one step at a time. Um, I've used some Zyrtec because I've had some, sinus type allergies before, and it's been helping. But I don't want to keep having to take a Zyrtec all because I'm feeling the pressure of life. Life is just that. And as a matter of fact, I'll share with you something that Paul actually um writes to us in Second Corinthians chapter 1, verse 8 through 9. This is what Paul says. We do not want you to be uninformed, brothers and sisters, about the troubles we experienced in the province of Asia. We were under great pressure, far beyond our ability to endure, so that we despaired of life itself. Paul said, we despaired of life itself. Indeed, we felt we had received the sentence of death. But this happened that we might not rely on ourselves, but on God who raises the dead. There's this, you know, pressure that Paul's admitting that he has experienced in life. He's pursuing, you know, the thing God has called him to do. Paul is pursuing the thing God has called him to do. And despite doing what God has called him to do, Paul finds himself under a tremendous amount of pressure. He called it great pressure, a pressure in which he despaired of life itself. Man, that's that, you know, depression that takes on some people. Man, they get overwhelmed with life. The pressure just builds and builds and builds, and they are overwhelmed with life so much that, just like Paul says, we despaired of life itself. We didn't want to live anymore. And some people, they spend their life there, unfortunately. But, you know, part of my mission is, as a preacher of the gospel, part of my mission is to share the word of God with people in a way that it strengthens them. Our mission here at our church, I'm live, I'm not filming, so I can just kind of show you this. Our mission at our church is on this wall behind me, and it says we exist to strengthen people by cultivating faith in God so that we can have an impact in communities. I want to strengthen people. I feel like we've got enough that takes place in life that's trying to take us out. And hey, I see someone actually jump. This is my first time being live on YouTube. I've been live before through my church channel and everything, but Astro Gaming Fan, fan. Good morning. I see you. Thanks for hopping on. But man, I'm just talking about what life's been like before I get ready to go preach here. At 9:15, I've got to be down to pray with our team here at church. But man, it's a great Sunday morning here in DFW, as I said. But that does not negate the fact that there's pressure in life. There's real pressure in life. You have relationship pressure, you know, you have parenting pressure. Your kids, if you have kids, they're under peer pressure. The peer pressure they're under these days, man, I would not want to be a child today. So much pressure. But I just wanted to encourage you and let you know, even though it's might be sun shining and a beautiful weather, and it truly is, it's a Sunday, it truly is the day the Lord has made, we've got to choose oftentimes to rejoice and be glad in it. Life isn't always a walk in the park. It's not just always a happy moment. It's not always something that we're like, well, you know, I wake up every day in my little Christian bubble and nothing's ever wrong. That is a lie. Life is out here lifing every single day, and you've got to choose to rejoice and be glad despite the circumstances. So I just wanted to encourage you in that this morning. I want to encourage you in the fact that on the inside of you, you've got more than you believe there is. You've got what it takes to push through and to get past whatever obstacles you might be facing. And as you do that, I'm believing that you're going to be an overcomer, and whatever pressure you're facing now, currently in this season, you're going to get through it. But remember, be reminded of this. I've got a friend that told me this one time. I've never forgot it. Maybe it was original to him, maybe it wasn't. You're in the middle of a storm, and storms are part of life. And so you're either on your way to a storm, you are in a storm, or you're coming out of a storm. There's only one season of life where you're actually in the storm, but storms are part of life. They just and they usually pop up, without your control. It's not something you're in control of. It's not something you can, just kind of cause to be here or not be here. There are storms that we bring on ourselves, but the storms of life, they just happen. It's lifing. And so realize if you've come out of a storm that you might be in a season now where you don't feel that pressure, but there's a season coming where you're going to be going into a storm and the pressure is going to start building. And next thing you know, you're going to find yourself in the middle of a storm. And you need to know you've got what it takes. You need to know you can make it through it despite the pressure. Despite the pressure, there's a promise, and the promise is God will bring you through it. So have a great day. Hope this encouraged you, and maybe I'll do some more lives.